this is what you do when you're watching TV. You save all the ribbon from Christmas, and all your relatives will give you all the ribbon because they don't want it. And you just tie it on, tie it on, tie it on, and you just keep doing it. So you can even have a dress, you can have a hat, you can do a wig, like a really cool wig with either any one color ribbon or gazillions of colors.
I do have a bag.
Somebody got one of these and did a whole mermaid thing. Because you can also weave stuff in between this. Like whatever kind of stuff you want to weave. You can weave this kind of stuff. You can rip. The nice thing to weave is ripping t-shirts. Because when you fold a t-shirt, it kind of goes under. Somewhere in here, I have some t-shirts. See, I didn't know if we could actually put glue gun stuff in here, so I brought glue guns, but they said maybe not. So too bad. These things, you can get them at the dollar store, and you can thread them through stuff like this, through other things. You can tie them together. You can weave them. You can lay them out. Or the other thing that's really good to weave with is duct tape. It's fabulous what's fabulous for everything. And what's that?
It's the forcible, it's the universe.
It is, it absolutely is. And before duct tape, we had the floppiest universe. And now it's more organized. See, if you get thin pieces of duct tape, and then, you can lay it out in different ways, and then you can stick these things underneath them. So you can weave stuff really fast. And I've seen stuff that you do in front of your TV at night, or something where you're just waiting for things to happen. Oh, here's t-shirts.
Sure, wherever you want.
If you have t-shirts that you don't like, or they're worn out, or you're bored with them, like I'm bored with these, you can turn them inside out. Or if you like the thing that's on them, you can keep it, but turn them inside out. And the one thing you can do with bottle caps, you've got a t-shirt, and I think I have a hammer, but put it on like that, and you have something solid underneath. You give it one good smack with the hammer, and enough of it will grab and squish. So you can fill up a t-shirt with beer caps, bottle caps, really fast. And you can do it in pattern. You can do it, hodgepodge, however you like. Here I have some scissors. Scissors. That sounds like a fairy godmother. We're late. I don't know, are you here? I'm on the second floor in the alpha room. If you come up the elevator, we're straight ahead. I'm doing it. Okay. That's my skinny dog. Wear these things.
Technically, you don't serve for another 5 minutes. So
What's that?
technically, you don't serve for another 5
Oh,
minutes.
right. Okay. Rewind. Yes, if you just cut up a t-shirt, if you do it really skinny, talk among yourselves. Because t-shirt stuff is cool, like you just pull it, And it kind of, and of course, if you cut it nicer than I did, or you don't need to, I mean, if you're going for a zombie look, you want some of those little things. But once it's twirled up, then you can also weave it in and out. It can be woven in and out of anything, and you can get a whole lot of, like all those t-shirts, you know, you have in your closet, in your drawer, and you spilled mustard on it, you can't wear it anymore, but you never get around to taking it to the thrift store. We don't need to. You sit there at night, and you can weave it all through. This is a tight bag. There's tons of tight bags. Or if you just want to put them in, tie them up so they hang. Depends on the effect you're getting, because you don't need to make, this doesn't need to be your costume. This can be something that, because a lot of the people here, you do theme, like you go to the theme. So you won't necessarily want the modern art look, but you can create chunks of things that can be fit onto other things that you wear. And with t-shirts too, the thing is, within a t-shirt, in fact, I don't even tell you about t-shirts, because you can Google t-shirt art, and there are the best YouTube videos around for the craziest things that you do on t-shirts. And so I've seen t-shirts where you can, by the way you cut them into strips so that they're not off, and then you can start to weave them together in different ways. And then I've seen people inset them into the back of a Victorian gown, so that you've got all of this, hi.
Carry on.
We started early apparently.
Apparently, that's okay.
But I said that you were probably, that you were skinny enough you could get into this.
Oh, I could, yeah.
If you've got anything on that will allow that, then maybe. Oh, but show here.
Get in the door. Right, tell you.
Get in the door. Now the other thing that is good for weaving in or for attaching is just plain newspaper.
Sorry.
Okay, newspaper here. One dress, there we go. So if you got one of these, you start twisting it. And twisting it, and twisting it. You can have a big fat piece, you can have it double, you can have it however you like. And you keep on twisting until, and it's actually, it works a lot better if there's two people. You're sitting on the couch and you're bored. You get however long you want. You can make gazillions of these. Now some people staple them as they go along. You don't need to. You can then wind them up. As one, there's so many things you can do. You can wind them up for a really fast, funny little rosette thing. And then you can staple them to a t-shirt, you can staple them to a shirt, you can staple them to a hat. The thing is with costuming, as many of you probably know, is the more time that, if you've got one of something, it just looks tacky. If you've got 1,000 of something, it starts to look like something. And once you've got things like this, either on a piece of material, you can put them on a coat, you can put them on a jacket. And this one is a jacket, this is a work in progress. We take the labels off all the clothes, and we just keep on sewing them on, and eventually the jacket will be full. It will be definitely a labeled jacket. And
I don't accept any labels. I refuse. I'll wear them, but I won't take them off. They're gone.
And and then once you get these on something, you can spray paint them. You can, and if you now what you can also do, if you paint them with acrylic paint before you put them on something, if you have a bushel basket of these, you paint them with acrylic paint, let them dry. Then when it's dry, you squish it a little, and it looks leathery. so that you can make a whole lot of these just out of newspaper, or any shape. You can, if you take a fatter one, you get the idea. You can make any kind of shape you want. And clamp them into place, staple them into place is probably the best. Don't duct tape these if you're going to put acrylic on it, because acrylic paint doesn't tape well to the duct tape. But what the acrylic will do is it will solidify this, it will waterproof it, and then it will last a long time on a costume. Now, if you just use the straight paper, you're in a hurry and you want to have something it won't last long. But you can make it last long. Now, the other thing you can do with acrylic paint with newspaper is if you go to Michael's or one of those places that sells that artsy, you get the really cheap acrylic paint and get them when they're on sale, and the ugly colors, doesn't matter what color. And first lay this out, get a big foamy brush or something, paint the whole thing with that. You have to be cute about it, and let it completely dry. Then you turn it over, and then you do the same on the other side. And that even that first layer on either side will start to take that kind of a bit of a leathery look. And so when you've got that first two coats, then you crumple it, spread it all out again, and give it another coat. And you can do different colors if you want to. You can do the same color. When you experiment with it, I've made some things with just newspaper. By the time I finished the layers of cheap acrylic and a little bit of metallic and stuff in it and squished it, you can make fabulous handbags. And they look like leather. And they don't wear like leather, but they last for a while. And you can make, like especially in the steampunk thing, as you know, it's hard sometimes to get some of the shapes and sizes and the material that you really want. But if you make yourself some paper leather, now I have friends who they won't make it out of newspaper because they say it won't last like 50 years. So I figure I'll be around for 50 years, so I don't care. But you can take also brown paper bags. They assure me might last 50 years if you acrylic them on both sides. And the trick is to, right from the first, get both of the sides done, crumple it, really be mean about it, even if it looks like it might tear, it doesn't matter. Because then you'll spread it all out and do it again. And it will, and then the best thing to do is to experiment with more than one color. With one color you get something really interesting, but with more than one, and save your metallic for close to the end if you're going to put metallic stuff in. Or you can just, if you've got some, I don't know, fairy dust or something, when the acrylic is tacky, just throw it on. You can embed all kinds of things in it. And sometimes you can also, when you get it built up, fairly thick, so it's starting to look like thin leather. You put a thick coat of acrylic on one side, you can start embedding things in it, like these things, or those things, like anything thin, you can embed in it and let it dry completely, and then put another coat on it. If you want the thing that you embedded in it to stay like this color, then put a coat of clear or matte acrylic over top. But if you want it to turn into something else, just cover it up with what you're doing, and it will then give that. But if you put a lot of little things like this on, then don't crumple it after that. So make sure you do all your crumpling prior to the little gewgaws. I can't remember what we got, so we'll just look. Princess Auto. If you want clamps for holding anything, you're gluing something, don't go buy expensive ones. Princess Auto always has bargain bins of everything. You can get the clamps of every size. You can get really cool wire at Princess Auto for cheap. And you don't have to, don't buy it at Michael's or places like that, because it's no point. And this is the best wire ever. You can get it at Princess Auto for not much, a couple bucks. this is, you can also get this at places, springs. And you can, I bought like truckloads of fabulous, fabulous springs. You can get them, these are small ones, you can get big ones, you can get smaller ones, you can get mixed bags. And they lend themselves to, of course, everything you can think of. No. Oh, this is another thing that's good with wire. Because, of course, there's Brazilian disease everywhere. You stick a wire through them. It could be a skinny wire, or it could be a fat wire. Doesn't matter. And then once you got the wire in there, then you can shape this however you like. And if you're careful, you can actually make it round, or you can make it every kind of shape. Because many times when you're creating a look, you need certain kind of shapes to hang things on. You can make star shapes. You can make any shape you could imagine. You can get a longer wire and put a lot of these on it. But what you've got then is you've got something that you can dangle. You can dangle other things from. And then if you leave wire out, it gives you something to wrap it around the next thing. So it opens the door for hanging stuff from it, for painting it, for making a whole lot of things and sticking them together. You can make kind of, with stars, if you make a lot of stars in different sizes, you can do a 3D. You can, and even with these, if you wanted to make, you can only get springs that are so big really easy. I mean, if you know a farmer who has a shop, and he'll let you look in his junk places, not all of us have those people anymore. So this is about as big a spring as I can find from Princess Auto. But if you're very clever, you can make a bigger spring with these, and then just spray paint them in. Now you might want to put, because this is plastic, you might want to put a layer of acrylic gesso on it first, so that it will take the color. And you can do that with anything. If you want to put some acrylic color onto pretty much anything, from a paper bag to a pair of shorts, whatever you've got, if you put a layer of acrylic gesso on first, let it soak in, then it will accept any of the other colors, and they'll be vibrant. And then, of course, with the big springs and the little springs, of course, it's absolutely endless what you can do. And I find with the clockworky stuff, it's hard. Like you can make them out of fake things, but I don't know if I can pull this one. Any of these springs can be pulled and stretch them out. You can pull so that they can come and they can dangle, and you can hold things from them. They're, I think they're probably my favorite find at these things. You know about these? At the thrift store, every once in a while, somebody from the 60s or 70s, those bead curtains, they put one of those in there. If you haunt there, grab them, because they're absolutely perfect. And of course, you can string these on wire of any sort, and you can make them. Now, what I like to do, depending on what I'm making, I like to string them on a wire that's got one of these on first, because it gives you a little more. It's a little bit easier to work with. You see, if you put them close together, you can create another look really quickly, and then like tie it off also really quickly. And then if you get something with a whole lot of beads that you like, when you can clip off the straw and pull it off so that you only have the wire for attaching it to something. Because most of the time, if you're making something really cool, you don't want it to look like a drinking straw. But you can use a drinking straw to help you get going with it. Now there's also beads like that. They're everywhere, and they're the thing with these is the more of them you put together, the more interesting a thing that you can do. And I like working with wire much better than I like working with thread, because you can do more with it. And you just keep on, and of course, you're more artistic than I am, so you pick a theme here and you put them all together, but you can layer a jacket, you can layer a dress, you can layer a coat really quickly with a whole lot of beads on wire, and then all you have to do is, you might have to sew at that part. You might have to take a needle and thread and kind of tack it to something. But you can get a military look depending on the kind of colors that you choose. Because it doesn't matter what you put here. Any kind of beads will do. It depends on the colors that you choose. And you can make it fanciful, you can make it like harem kind, you can make it goth, you can make it any kind of military, depending on the colors and the shapes and how you put them together. And somewhere here are buttons. Buttons are every shirt that you ever owned and you discarded. It's a travesty if you don't take off the buttons. Because these are buttons just from work shirts. And I get them from your friends. Your friends have shirts that they're going to discard for whatever reason, and they're going to throw the buttons away. Don't let them do that. These are just on a string because I wanted to test out different shapes and colors and looks with buttons, and it depends. You put, of course, all the same size, different colors, but you can get so many different looks. And when you get a whole lot of them, of course, you can put them on a wire, or once you start getting them, you can stitch them onto something so that this is kind of messy. Yours won't be messy because you'll pick all the colors that will go with something. Now the other thing that I don't have here, because I didn't have any room to bring more stuff, is computer parts, because it's hard to get clock parts. Although you just about have to buy, unless you have a supply. Walmart at Christmas time will have, yeah, you've got cool clock parts.
This is a computer board on that.
Oh, is it? Yeah. See, the computer board thing, and then all those little, like,
It's just added on.
Yeah.
Parts of a watch,
Yeah.
parts of a watch strap that
Yeah.
puts the watch on.
and keys. Because all of your friends in their junk drawer have keys that they don't know what they go to anymore.
And it's really fun when it's school rekeyed.
Yeah, it is. And you see, the thing is that what I've discovered is that my friends, they don't mind opening their junk drawer because they're keeping it because they don't want. Who knows why they're keeping it? I don't know why I keep stuff, but
They don't want to throw it out because it still has value.
well, true.
It might need this one.
But if you say, can I look in your junk drawer and take some stuff away? Oh, please, please. And that's where you find every little bit and bob. And if the more of one thing you get, the better. But even if you have one special thing, then build something else around it. And I saw the most fabulous skirt. And I don't have time to make it, I would love to. Somebody took a beach ball and cut like a hole at the top. And I don't exactly know whether I guess it was just open at the bottom. But it fit around from here to just above the knee. And they completely glue gunned computer parts to every part of it, and they spray painted it white. And it was great. It was like, it was so Star Warsy. And then they had some kind of, okay, this is like these, they had some kind of, this part of these, the plastic ones don't work well because they don't take paint and they squish. These are quite tough. And if you take this part and take it apart, you can apply it to, I think the person that had that really spacey suit had some things like this sticking out and down the front, and they were all spray painted white, and they had little computer bits all glued on, and in the places down the front, they put some LED lights, and they had some kind of, it was really cool. And these kinds of egg cartons, they used to be hard to find, they're not so much anymore, but they, you do a thing with that. If you take off the paper, but if you put these, if you've got several of them, you put them in a really big bowl, and you pour boiling water over them, you let them sit overnight, they turn into the absolute best, thank you, the absolute best in the world paper mache, because the sizing is already in here. And it'll lose the structure that the egg people gave it, but then you can create your own structure. It's instant. And you just have to sort of squish it and push it and squeeze the water out of it, or depending on what you want to make from it. Just from a big metal bowl, if you have a whole bunch of these that you poured boiling water in the night before, you pull them out, you squish them into the metal bowl all the way around, kind of mash them together so that they fit, and then let it completely dry. You already have like half a sphere, 2 of those, and you have a big ball. But you can use anything in your house or your yard or whatever for a mold to build something, and it's the best for building hat frames, because like that cute little hat back there that's sticking up, like to get that shape isn't always easy if you're I mean, you're probably clever enough to do that. Most of us aren't.
It was molded on a cocktail glass, on a beer star.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, because with these, then you can make a form to make any kind of gizmo that you're after, and then of course my friend acrylic paint, and you can get the best acrylic paint. If you go, I think Home Depot, Canadian Tire. What is it called? Do you remember what it's called? That stone stuff.
Stonewall? Stonewell?
Maybe.
The stone stuff that you put on to make
Yes,
granite?
to make
Put on your deck.
on your concrete so you don't slip.
Yeah, it's the deck stuff.
Yeah, the deck stuff. But that has an acrylic base, and if you get that and put it on any paper mache thing that you made, it immediately looks like stone. So that you can have, I saw a Hulk guy mostly made out of these things, and that stone paint. And the nice thing about acrylic, it dries really fast, and it washes up with water. And you can, and someone told me the other day, I haven't tried it myself, they said if you go to which is the depot where people give their paint away?
Reuse
Just bottle people.
or the reuse. Oh no, the
Yeah, that if you go there and take a look, don't get the oil-based paint that's left over because it takes forever to dry. And unless you have a clever idea that I don't know about, it's a nuisance. But the acrylic-based paint that you get there, even if it's just a little bit, you can cover. You might want to pass that one around to some of these people. They came in late and they didn't see. That's crocheted out of
all the movies that I didn't want anyone to ever see.
What's it crocheted?
Video cassette tape, VCR tape.
Oh!
And the trick is, if you're going to crochet with this, if you are crocheters, if you know crocheters, you're going to barter with crocheters because they're fun to barter with. They warn them if they don't know about this medium that they have to have baby powder on their hands when they crochet because it's like, or gymnast, better yet, gymnast dust, because it needs to slide. Otherwise, it doesn't slide very well, it's not meant for that, and so when you're sliding, that's part of the rhythm, and so unless you have that gymnast dust, it'll all wash, it'll disappear.
Yeah.
But that's an essential part of it. But it's simple to create, that 6 hours of intensity. You can pass this one around too. It's kind
Well,
of
and
crazy.
like you said before, you don't have to be a good crocheter.
No, and it didn't happen all at once.
Yeah, that's that other one around, because some of the people. We started early because people were here.
And this one is antique surveyor's tape. Before surveyor's tape was neon colored, it started out like this. And it actually was black and green together on the roll. And so that's why it came out that way. It was really simple for the artist to do because it didn't take having to connect the two colors. It was already connected. It might not have been that easy otherwise.
Now, these things, not the good ones that your granny has, that she actually crochets them. These are the cheap acrylic ones that they've been around forever, and every single thrift store has acres of these things, and they're not always the colored ones, but because they're acrylic, they're nice to work with. They drape really well. You can do all kinds of things with them. You can, if you have just even a simple black skirt like that, and you have some of this draped around, and what you do is you don't have to sew. You make the drapes the way you like them, and the bustiers and the thingamajiggies, and you get somebody to you pin them on. But then you take duct tape, and you duct tape them all on. You use, like I showed you, use duct tape really thin, and you duct tape this up high, and then you make sure you wear something over it, or you tuck it under, so that you can. And if you want to gather this really fast into various little swales or whatever, however it is you like it, you get it to a certain place, and then you wrap some skinny duct tape around it really tight, and it will kind of disappear. Or you can put a little glue on it, no way you'll see it, because you can create a whole gown with some plain thing you get from the thrift store, and a bunch of drapery stuff, and in low light, it looks like lace.
Or from 10 feet, which is costume real.
Yeah, okay, good point. And I find that at the thrift stores, they're usually pretty cheap because there's so many of them. Like they're every color, every shape, and so I just pick them up when I can get them for 25 cents, and I just keep them for later. And then that brings me to, I don't have one of them, but you probably don't have nice wool sweaters that you want to shrink. Sometimes they get shrunk, and but in the thrift stores, not as many as they used to be, but they're kind of old-fashioned looking, and nobody wants to buy them. If you can get 100% wool sweater or socks of any sort, then you can felt them, and it's really easy to felt. I got a little stack of them, and when you're washing with hot water and you're doing your laundry with hot water, you throw them in, and then you put them in the dryer, and they shrink again, and they shrink a little bit more, and you just keep doing it, whenever you're doing laundry, and then eventually you're going to get this very, very shrunken item, but it's nice and fat and felted, and then you can start making more archaic looking things that are.
It's off. It's a good timer. It's on the timer.
Oh, it's on, I'm not moving around. Is that it?
There's, I think it's a
Saturday
red. Yeah, red news.
Oh, yeah, it's probably like, it's 5 to 12, probably there's no classes after 12.
That's too funny.
They forgot to check on that one.
Actually, it might even be the operations. Yeah.
They can control it from the main system.
Is that our blackout? Is that what we're supposed to do?
Oh, yeah, and this one, in the days when everybody smoked, these are the outside of the cigarette packs. And of course, those little things here are the little dealy thing that you rip off. And because the point is that out there in your world and in the world of all your friends, there's stuff. There's stuff that there's.
This is an Alberta one, this is BC colors. But this is an Alberta
These
one.
BC smokers are not.
Just, not that it matters, but. Yeah, exactly. It's just a simple way to take something that's garbage and transform it into something that could be used on something else. It's a little quirky, this one's a bit old, it's a bit ratty,
Here's
but
another thing that.
it still dresses up okay from what, thank you, Ray.
If your village is.
And this is what, if you were to do it with
Really quickly.
Alberta colors, it'd be red, not blue, and I guess Ontario's yellow, and so you could.
And you can see their honeycomb look to them. So you can, if you paint these with silver, with metallic acrylic of any sort, gold, silver, bronze, whatever, it starts to take on that nice kind of snake skin, or you can start building them up. Now these can be.
I'm gonna have me a Jabba jacket one day. Maybe a Chanel skirt.
Yes, if we, because you have enough.
Not quite, but later on.
Well, we don't have enough yet, but for period wear, like many you guys are doing, these are, because as you can see, every one of them has kind of a different pattern. So corrugated ones, but pick the pattern you like, make sure all your friends save them for you. And these also you can do, you have to be a little more careful, but you can do a similar thing.
You can make mix and match. Mix and match is not that bad. You just make patterns and you just put it on the other side. You don't have to advertise for them. Do it this way.
That's right.
Or you could crisscross it and make it all sorts you couldn't recognize this from Adam, but it's all exposed. It depends on how creative you want to get.
True.
The simple sort of just, this is a simple layering, which is the easiest way to go about. Just simple zip across with a sewing machine or a glue gun, whichever is your easiest preference, and then begin.
Or a staple.
Or a stapler, right? I'm not big on the staples because I have to wear these things, and the staples are not the fun.
But you know what to do? You got the staples all in the back, and then you cover them with duct tape.
Right. So yes, there is a way around
And
it.
it doesn't bite you, but what I'm gonna say is you can soak these in the same way that you can soak these guys and soften them up and form them. And if you cut little notches in them and they're soaked, and you get the next guy, like you were showing, and you want to layer them. This is a little more picky, but it's really pretty. If you get notches in both of these, and you soak them a little bit, then you meld those little notches together so that they overlap each other, and then put some hooks on it and dry it. Then you do more. You can get a whole sheet of this kind of thing. And if you take, when it's really, really dry, if you take a little hammer and sort of hammer like along and then soak it again, and you hammer it when it's not soaking wet, but before it's completely dry, it will start to go together. Now, it will never be a total, complete weld, but it will give you something you can cut if you wanted to cut it into things. And you can make some fairly substantial headdresses and sort of helmety things out of this. Although a friend of mine said, for a helmet, you're better off starting with something really firm, like some styrofoam, and then putting this. Yeah, because especially with you guys, because you fight. And then, I mean, if you're gonna fight, you might not want. This might not last.
I want to hear about this thing for a minute. Can you tell us how you made this? Just because it's like, I can't lift that up, but can you lift it up? I mean, maybe everybody saw you come in, but that's like, it's
Yeah,
like
no.
Ghostbusters, like.
No, it's
so
It's Fortress too, it's a Gatling.
Oh.
Yeah,
Team
it's-
Fortress?
Yeah. barrels are actually made out of pipe insulation, so lightweight with a couple of dowels and structural points. This was, strangely enough, is PVC pipe that was custom made at Rona, and then the guy didn't want to buy it, so it was like, yeah, that's actually the perfect diameter for what I need. So I ended up getting it for free from them because they didn't have any use for it and couldn't sell it.
Wow.
And just locked that for the rings. And these are actually those big round Kool-Aid powder containers.
Oh, for the duct tape, right?
Yeah, well, of course.
So that's how he gets through the walls.
Yes, I call on the power of the Kool-Aid man. Yeah. PVC pipe.
Pulling pipe, yeah, cool.
And just some particle bullets. And then a pair of old 5-gallon pails that I just dropped this piece off the one and shoved it in one.
That is so
There's
cool.
nothing actually holding them together. I just shoved one in the end and it's never come apart since.
So just hang on, and you've got those,
But just plumber's gaffing
well, no, there's
strap.
that, isn't there, I've seen these, I don't know what they're called. This stuff.
It's plumber's strapping.
Oh, plumber strapping.
Or galvanized steel strapping, and it's just used to old pipes and whatnot.
This
that
looks
were-
like it could be spray painted too.
You'd want to put a primer on it first because it is galvanized steel.
And then you screws.
Well,
See, no sewing here. This is so cool. And then when you put these together,
I got screws through some parts, hot glue on others, and mainly because I keep forgetting to actually go get PVC glue. And
yeah, well, that's what I was gonna ask you, did you actually glue them together?
no, well, everything like this and hot glue, but it's not sticking to much
It's,
anymore. Also, don't have any of these pieces in some of the vendors because it's just
I see.
joints on joints and they don't stick together.
So
That's why we got duct tape. I just need to
So
spray paint it black.
eventually you're gonna glue it? No, you're gonna spray paint it black. Because I figure that because like some of you in here, you've got these incredibly gorgeous costumes and somebody sewed those. I am so envious. That is so beyond. I can sew, but I have no time. So I'm a big believer in what this guy has done. You find stuff and you find ways to put it together. And duct tape, of course, is the best friend in the world because you can use it fat, you can use it thin, you can wrap it forever. But wire, don't ever.
Billy, you got a question after that?
Yes.
Where did you get the double wide duct tape?
Princess Auto.
You made it yourself,
I did in my little basement.
because that would be exceptionally handy.
It,
Check our hardware store, probably have one.
Yeah.
Princess
Home Depot or
Auto.
one of the larger ones.
Princess Auto, I always go there first, because you can always, don't, anything that looks expensive, don't worry, because 2 weeks from there, it will be on sale. But lurk around in, what is it, in the right,
Surplus area, yeah.
yeah, in the surplus area, and they got so much stuff. I don't think I got this there, but I got colored duct tape there many times, because they have, it just ends of things. Because Canadian Tire,
Really?
yes. I found this because I hate buying those, you know, the little ones and they only have this much tape on them. And they charge you, don't get the stuff that's called Gorilla tape. They say, oh, it's the biggest, it costs so much money for this little tiny bit of tape. It might be a little stronger than duct tape, but 2 wraps of this will do it. I bought Gorilla Glue once because I thought Gorilla, they're tough. It wasn't worth it. What have we done here? Oh, you know what? I forgot to tell you, we're not allowed to use the glue gun. Oh! Sorry, I didn't know.
It's okay, I just turned it off, so it's all good. I was just getting ready to do something else, so it's all good. Not to worry.
See, this is for blinds, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
And, this stuff is so cool because if
Well,
you-
somebody thought it would be cool to put paper clips, but paper clips catch it, it's like having a bunch of hangers on your costume.
Oh, yeah.
Not so much fun,
Well,
so.
it gets in people's hair too.
Oh, there's her. Anyway, that's just what you learn when you let everybody have fun.
Let me show them your arm.
All right.
This, if you could wrap this around and around, I mean, as you know, it's silver, it's lovely, and it drapes, and you can do all kinds of little things to it. It's easy to tack on.
They can't see.
Oh, sorry. It's the stuff that,
Is it a chain or a chain?
it's just that regular little, BB chain, yeah.
Oh, okay, I thought it was a string or something.
No, and these have some kind of little plastic gizmos on them, but you wouldn't keep those.
Oh, I love
And,
Or leave them.
Or maybe you'd keep them if you wanted to attach something
Yeah.
to
You
them.
can also buy that particular type of chain by itself at hardware stores. as
That's
well.
true.
By
it. Yeah, you
by
can
the
get it at Canadian
Yeah.
Tire.
yeah. And different sizes of it, fat BBs and little skinny BBs and, but also in your neighbor's junk drawer are tons of these a little bit shorter pieces. But it doesn't matter, you can wire them together, you can, if you're really good, I don't solder, but apparently you can solder these together, I haven't. He knows how to, go to his house. For soldering.
They also sell it in Canadian Tire for like, when you got the chain hole lights.
Oh, yeah.
And you can get the ends that will clamp over one end of the bead. And then you can use it to put it in a circle and clip it through the other end for,
Oh,
for
excellent.
necklaces.
Yeah.
Like dog tags and stuff.
Yes.
Like what he thought, like when you were wearing dog tags and stuff.
Oh, perfect. That is so perfect.
And the little,
And, because some of you came in, I'll pass this around, this is also, you can get a Princess Auto, but bags and bags of springs, little springs, big springs. These are, I like the silvery ones, but you can get gold ones, brassy looking springs. And they're not that much money. Wait until they, just pass them along. Wait until they go into the surplus area. And of course, if you're desperate, you can pay brand new, but start with Princess Auto first. And then there's that funny little store that's next to Princess Auto, Bianca Amours.
Yeah.
Bianca Amours, and it's mostly liquidation. Yeah, and mostly
On our side.
there's junk in there, but every once in a while, I got the biggest, hugest, space age knife thing, like it was made out of real metal, and it's got, cuts out of it, like,
Oh, that's where you got that.
yeah. But I got it for, like, it's huge, it's got a big handle with that, like you guys.
Oh, it would go down.
I already got a bunch like that.
Yeah. I bet you didn't pay $7 at Bianca Amours.
I did that, I think my mother got it for me for a birthday.
Like,
maybe
A very
she-
cool mother.
No kidding. No
Maybe she
kidding.
got them at Bianca Awards.
I did, because there's all kinds of knives of every, and machetes and samurai whoopie-doopies, and some of them are tacky, but some of them are heavy-duty. And they come with a sheath and the whole thing, and they usually aren't very expensive. And if they're too expensive, go back a couple of weeks later, and they will have moved down the wall a little bit, and there'll be less money. The other thing, yeah.
And Bianca Moore also sells really nice canes if you want to get a nice cane for your steam tumbler for next to nothing.
Oh, good to know.
Or if I need a
Walking
boot.
stick. Yes.
I actually make a pretty good steampunk cane out of a nice brass water pipe. Put a
Oh.
stopper on the end, just took a piece of wood, screwed a handle into the top, and then just polished it up, and there's a nice cane.
Excellent. Yeah, well, cool. And tell me stuff, people.
One thing actually, on 111th, around 119th Street, is, every Saturday, Sunday from 10
Oh,
till
super
5
cool.
is the super market.
Oh, where is that?
111 and 121 Street.
111.
111 Ave and 121 Street.
And that's still operating?
Every Saturday, Sunday,
Oh, I bet you can get,
all kinds of crazy stuff there.
and videotape.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, lots of VCR tape.
And, 8-track, was that tape too?
Yes, it was.
So you could probably crochet that.
Cassette tape works too.
Yeah.
Because the tape is a different crochet, it just, it's a lighter crochet, more whimsical looking, and it's not quite as sturdy.
Yeah, it depends on what you want it for. Does anybody else have a cool, I want some cool ideas that I don't know about.
eBay. You can get almost anything on eBay.
But can you get cool junk?
Well, I got watch parts, I got like
Oh, did you
keys.
really?
I got like 12, these kind of keys, swords,
Etsy's also really
like
good
this,
for
for like $12 plus shipping.
No way.
So, then you spray paint them or not, depends on
Yeah.
if you want the shiny or the, and Value Village or other thrift stores for leather coats, like I recycle leather coats,
Oh,
big
yeah.
like gauntlets.
Yeah, leather.
All her harness and leather work is a coat.
Oh, stand up. Stand up, let's.
And come to the conference.
So we were able to use a lot of the pieces, like the
This is
snaps and
actually the
everything that
bottom
were
of the
already in
coat.
place.
Right.
And we're like
The
a
bottom of
bomber
a what?
jacket.
This is the bottom of a leather coat.
Like an 80s bomber jacket.
Yeah,
And then
that
we
kind of
just
stuff.
flipped it
So
up.
these
So-
people can see,
Oh.
because this is too cool.
And then we salvaged some of the leather here,
Sorry.
we salvaged some of the leather here, we salvaged some of the leather here. We're up to re-salvage leather.
Turn around, turn around.
Working around the seaming that was already in the jacket.
Yes.
Kind of
So
makes
see
it
that-
so-
that
got the
was-
tailoring in, and it saved a lot of the sewing, because.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And plus you got that really cool, like, worn
The
look,
leather.
because
Yeah.
it's, this is obviously like at least a couple decades old
Yeah.
jacket. And it's really soft because of it, so all the rivets like went through really easily. and-
That is so smart, like to work with the,
Yeah.
because there's sometimes handbags come into thrift stores too that are kind of beat up and they're,
That's the cheapest way to get buckles, is
Yeah.
off
Yes.
of old
Yeah.
handbags
Yeah.
and stuff at the thrift store.
but buckles and those.
Buckles like $2 or $3 a piece to buy in a Tandy or something, and
Well,
you
and
can
they're-
get a handbag
And they're
at
not
Value
even
Village
nice
that
at
has buckles
Tandy
all
anymore,
over.
they're kind of, like, don't you find they're kind of punky? Like they're bendable, and, but the ones, people, the best garage sales to go to for that kind of stuff, like old leather, jackets and handbags and even belts, is if you go to the estate garage sales.
Yeah.
And I don't have much time anymore, so, and I love garage sales, so I only go to the ones that are estate garage sales. But, oh, and you get tons of lacy stuff. And sometimes, you know, they make pillowcases and they put all that lacy stuff on the edges that we don't do anymore. And a lot of them are kind of worn, but they're perfect. They're perfect for, because, yeah, show this thing you got on. I like that front thing.
Okay, I bought this because I didn't have time.
Victoria Street,
But you could actually make this quite easily.
Yeah.
Just take something, piece of lace and just
Yeah,
gather all
that's-
around, put it on the top.
And I bet you could probably,
And Velcro's in the back. That's the
and
best
put it
part.
together with duct tape in the front.
You could.
Because see, that's the other thing with, I was just thinking with duct tape, is that one of the reasons I want this wide stuff is that you spread it out on something so the sticky side is up. And then if you've created something like this or something that's kind of delicate, you start pressing it into the duct tape and you kind of build it that way. And then the duct tape will disappear and then you can put some other layers on top. But you can build some fairly intricate, of course, you have to be careful because you want that to drape nicely. So you have to do it just for the core. But the sticky part of a wide duct tape, you can attach all kinds of stuff to it. Now, somebody made a really gruesome, it was great, it was a great outfit, but he stuck dryer lint to reams and reams and reams of this, and then he stitched it together, and he made this kind of, he was this kind of, I don't know, dust bunny creature. And a gargoyle kind of face. But what he did is he made a gargoyle face at the front of just a mask from like here to here with this kind of paper mache, where when you soak it, and he formed it into just the front part, and it was great. It had this big big nose and this kind of high cheeky face and these little slanty eyes. And then he kept it, like once he'd soaked this, it became kind of rough, and he kept it that way with his dust bunny outfit. It was pretty cool. And I didn't ask him how long it took to do, but I don't know. None of us probably care how long it takes to do, because you do it over time. But you want to, so did we exhaust everything?
I think nearly, unless we wanted to go into some sticks and some, we started that, I missed that.
Well, and the other thing is popsicle sticks. Like, at our house, my husband, there's a particular kind of Del Monte popsicle thing that he likes. So as you can see, he's had a lot of them. But these are the same thing. What I like to do with these is to kind of weave them together with either duct tape or wire, so that you can get these slat kind of looking things. And then they're really good. You can put them on boots. You can do up the side of your trousers. You can have them as part of a waistcoat, or you can put them on things that are kind of in order like that. And if you want to fool around with things like that, again, take the white duct tape, spread it out, and start experimenting with pressing this in there until you find designs that you like. And then you can even leave them that way if you want to, and then spray paint them and have, with the duct tape, it makes it a little bendable so that it will go around something. And of course, I mean, with these you can do any shape. And then we should mention the reuse center. You guys all know what the reuse center?
Yeah.
Of course you do. It does anything that, and I've got a bunch of stuff and I'm tired of it. I just take it there and bring something else home. Because what did you find one time? You found this big bag of Edmonton Eskimo. What were they? They were.
They're all gold. They all have little picks, and they're not much bigger than, say, this. They're all picks in the shape of a helmet, a golden helmet.
Right, a gold helmet.
And
There's a whole bag full. Like,
I have yet to convince an artistic, creative crew, but there's interest in making some sort of little shimmy, sha-sha, because it's got all these picks, and it'll be like this helmets, all these shimmy, sha-sha helmets. It'll be silly. What crazy, it was like, it's poundage, it's like ridiculous poundage. And it was just there, and of course I had to take it, because I couldn't, like, okay, this is thousands of these itty bitty tiny little helmets that, with tape, they're all gold, and all the little wire picks sticking out the bottom of the helmet. So sky's the limit. You can make some beehive thing. You can make not like a helmet, but a beehive looking helmet, because it would be some sort of, anyway.
like Martin Simpson. Well, because if you got, you know that foam, that styrofoam stuff that comes when you buy like a toaster or
TV generally, or computer.
yeah, that kind of stuff. Well, I was just thinking the other day that you could dock that whole thing full of those little helmets.
Yes.
But the point is that anything out there, even if it's crazy, if you find thousands of something, take it. Because you might not think of what you're going to do with it today. Like, oh, I should tell them about the ball gown.
Oh, yes.
Somebody, if one of her friends found in a dumpster behind a pet store,
Nearly 30.
like those fluffy.
They're a bit bigger. Doggone ball gown, like doggone balls. Right?
So they cleaned them up, and she's got this gown, and it's fabulous. That they've got the big ones are here, and then they're on what, hula hoops.
A hula hoop at the bottom and a belt at the top, and
And
it's
so
strung.
all these balls are going. It takes a hefty person
30 pounds. 30 pounds.
to wear it, but it's magnificent. It's because there's so many of them. If you tried to use one or two.
If you were curious to have a more visual of this, if you are on Facebook and you look at Garbaganza with an exclamation point, it's just remember extravagant garbage. You'll get to see some of these other zany ones that are kind of like this, and so tablecloth fairies are fun. You could take that favorite tablecloth that you have all these memories, it's stained beyond belief, you're not going to use it on your dinner anymore. cut a circle in the top, some holes for thumbs, and just adorn it with all those silk flowers from the reuse center and all of the other places. And you just make a massive amount of them, and then you just slip it over your head and walk out the door, and you're just happening. And you're all full of color. Put some leotards on it. Or not, yeah. But it's an easy way to get a bit of a wow. And then you're just taking stuff that you kind of have around.
Yeah.
But you can see a few more costumes on the Garbaganza Facebook page. It's a very elusive project that is a big, lots of brains come together, and it is not, it is a whimsical adventure and silliness, as I said,
Everybody
extravagant garbage.
contributes to it, and then she ends up having to store it.
Well, I couldn't help myself. I mean, really, I can put this gadget on and go out the door, and it's red carpet ready. I mean, really, it is like 10 years old. I can get a good season out of it whenever I want, because it doesn't. This one actually comes out whenever, because it doesn't have to be Halloween. It just about gets away with any outfit.
Well, and then these folks don't do it for Halloween either. So
Exactly, yeah.
It's, well, the other thing I saw, I'm just starting to collect. So if anybody has dominoes, they want to get them.
She said.
I saw this most fabulous, they filled, and I didn't put it out there, a man's suit jacket, completely filled with dominoes in different patterns and everything. Oh, it's great. And the way they did it in kind of stripes. And they started again on the back of duct tape. But I think they did use some wire over time. But it's attached, and so, and when you have this jacket on, you're walking, it has that kind of funny sound to it, as they're just kind of moving together. I want one of those, because they did it on a black, maybe it was even a tuxedo-y kind of jacket, but it was splendid. But then his buddy had done one with Scrabble pieces. It wasn't near as sexy, but it was sure funny, because he had spelled out all kinds of different words, and it was from every kind of Scrabble set you could think of. It was very cool.
Another thing that you could put in anything that's even like that, there was a group of ladies that started making a business, and what they did, they used real leather or real fur to go get any kind of fun fur or old coat, and weave that in between anything with a hole, and you get this yellow.
Fabulous. What a good idea. What a good idea, because there's tons of that fun fur out there. And it doesn't ravel, does it? I don't think it does. It's a, yeah. Oh, right, kind of like rabbit. In the old days, they used to make rabbit blankets. Yeah, cool.
One last little sort of secret, if you will. When I was in grade 10, that was way long ago, I decided, I lived in the middle of nowhere. It was a red one. But I did one of these on top of an old slip with a nice belt. And I tell you, I went down the schools, and it was great. You couldn't see that. It was fabulous. I was all high fashion, I tell you I was. Of course, it's all impressive. Yeah, okay, fine. And then my brother shouted down the hallway, "My sister's wearing an onion sack." And he spoiled it all. Anyway, that's just, it still has
You're
its...
absolutely right, because I mean, look at that on a.
Well, I mean, I had a slip
All by
underneath.
itself, it was really well. Yeah.
But it's just a silly little something. I was being a punk. I was in grade 10. But anyway, it's still kind of fun.
Well, it is fun, and it still would work. And any kind of, and even some of the looser burlap that things come in, if you put something black underneath and stretch it, it's really cool. It gives an effect that you just can't get with real fashion. I shouldn't say that. Probably somewhere you can get it. It's real fashion, like with what you guys do. Because I am so envious about what you guys do when you actually sew stuff.
Oh yeah, we don't sew, no way. We just wait. We can't slow down long enough to sew in our family. Although, how many sewing machines do we have? No, let's not talk about that.
Well, someday a person might sew. But if anybody has any good ideas that I don't have, send them to me. You can find me on Facebook. I'd be happy to hear cool stuff, and if you're making out a gallon gun, I wanna see one that shoots potatoes.
So the next upgrade is I'm gonna get spinning barrels and light effects in the front.
Oh,
Already got a series of circular bearing systems.
okay. Are you working on that?
Yeah, no, I ended up in the hospital for a couple of weeks, so I wasn't able to get it done with PureSpec.
But I mean, but you got it in mind, like you.
Oh, yeah, like I said, I already have the bearings and everything.
Next year, next year.
It'll be LED lights and everything, right?
Yep.
Oh, it'll be shooting better than potatoes.
Bring it from marshmallows.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, it's not gonna fire.
Potatoes.
It's
Done.
LEDs that are
This one shoots marshmallows.
There's a safe way to
connects and lights up.
We were talking about electric
Yeah.
shooting potatoes.
So, because this one actually is, really functional.
And possibly a speaker so that we can do the whole.
And it shoots a long way.
It shoots them very far.
I know
Because
some
it was
people have a
like-
guess, so they want to do something
There's
for
a
Halloween next
there's
year.
an entire like 6-piece collection.
Okay, I'm writing this down because she wanted, what is it?
Bats.
Bats?
Bats, B-A-S.
Well, see,
It's
that's,
just
I
like
I
how
love
the
that.
powder.
I don't know why stuff now, because everybody's
yeah,
so
Yeah.
ingenious.
I don't know where, but I know
There's
there's.
and
what's it
It's a marshmallow launcher. They have them with the kids stuff, because they have kids weapons. So, there's a kid's crossbow and a kid's, rapid fire gun and a
Oh, it is,
Oh, because they're planning to do something like a Halloween walkthrough around their place. Planning. And they wanted things to do, and last year somebody was running around with a chainsaw, and we all said, please take the chainsaw blade off, because.
Yes.
And they scared all the kids out of the driveway. They're coming up to the house and.
This one, yeah, what we did, sandwich down and spray painted it, and then
The leather wrapping.
the leather wrapping and correction
oh,
bracelets
somebody else has to come
that
in.
I'm playing around with. And then we got, we still put glue on, and then tears.
The gold filler is from,
Yeah, this is the original.
so we want to make sure to maintain its function.
Yeah.
So we can paint it.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yes, please do.
We might have to have it
Please do, because I'm
We
so
might have to
fascinated.
ridiculous.
Because
You can actually shoot at each other.
Yeah.
What's this wicked?
We call them their frigates. They're from the dollar store.
Our tiny
Because
guns.
I see you guys have had
What
some,
do they shoot?
some time.
They shoot their
They've just gone to Fort Edmonton Park.
Yeah,
And, I read about that, and I love to
I don't have much of the I brought extra bottles.
Thank you, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
So we have like Christmas and we need coffee.
Oh, yeah, sure.
We were thinking your, we were talking about your.
Yeah, we were talking about your chainmail. So while you're doing this, I'm going to be. Oh.
And it is seriously powerful.
So you just leave this part undone so you can move around?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it just looks like you've been in battle or something.
Yeah, that's kind of what I, yes. So I definitely need the bigger rings.
These are aluminum,
Yeah?
and the secret to aluminum, you're gonna want to
I don't have as much time as I used to, because I'm working.
nice and shiny when you get it.
But you
But
have a break.
when you wear it, it's gonna be black residue.
And that's not good.
Right, so get a big crock pot, boil it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that'll take that, the green
And how do you, do you,
Yeah, because this almost looks like pewter. Yeah.
I didn't actually do this one. Lucky man did it for me. But yeah, he did it from wire, so he just
oh, yeah.
around the mat.
I'm not good enough to, I have to buy the rings.
Fair enough. There's kits out there and stuff.
There are, yeah. And there's some great sources online that like they make the rings and then they send them to you in like mass quantities in bulk. And it's like $50 for like,
This took him 80 hours to be fast.
oh, that is fast.
So,
The bottom line
but
for us
the
always
pattern is really easy. Like,
Yeah.
it's just It's just repetitive.
I'm just having I'm having a really hard time getting them to lay flat because I'm doing a bracelet piece and it's supposed to be like kind of like a gauntlet and I'm just having a bitch of a hard time getting it to lay flat.
So what you do, the best way to do it, is you take a series of take off
Oh, so they stay flat. Oh, smart. You're my new hero.
You're mine.
Oh my, okay, I'm so proud of this gun. I'm pissed off that like my husband didn't have time to finish his gun, that I had to give him this one for his costume because I'm so proud of that thing.
This is like,
Yeah.
It even makes noise, so if you're not shooting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Did it come with the spikies?
Nope, no,
You
it was
added
a
all that
bracelet.
stuff? Yeah.
So it, and then,
what color was it before?
this is a
It
green,
was camouflage,
and then this
I think?
is, this, and nail polish remover took off most of the, like, wording and everything, and
But we
then-
always sand
and then we
plastic to
sand it,
get
yeah.
the,
yeah, you get a nice little rough this. You did some leather work with the handles. I like that.
some little gears to make it
But
look
like it looks like a little rocket launcher.
I know, and it shoots marshmallows.
So
Which is just awesome.
Bass Pro Sports. Yeah, in the kids section.
they get, so
They have a kids section.
In the kids section,
weaponry.
oh my god, and you have to read the packaging. It is the funniest thing on the face of the planet.
Teacher, little hunter.
Like the values that you grew up with, like of hunting and catching your own kill, and like
I have to come if you go there.
Well, we were
Like,
terrifying
whatever
some bunnies in the neighborhood the other day.
No, they were infesting my lawn.
well, and the thing is too, have you ever
If you
taken?
feed them bunny marshmallows, they're gonna like you. That's true.
If you want to do something funky like this, to make it look like marshmallows, you can take food color.
Tonic water.
Color your marshmallow. Like,
Oh
green or something
yeah, I never thought of that. That's a great
You can
idea.
get a black food color.
Oh,
So you can make them or gray.
Yeah.
And turn them gray if you
I
just use
just
a little
love
bit.
it.
No, actually, I don't know where to went,
like,
the rest of my character.
dyed all the
It's gonna be
darks.
like a
Yeah.
oil,
And so then we actually did some glow in the dark ones that actually look like plasma. We did red tartan style ones. We did red ones, gray ones, gold
my
ones.
costume just, I got to keep leather.
I also
These little Nerf darts have been like the greatest thing ever.
well, steampunk and Nerf are just
I know.
They're made.
Yeah.
Did you watch Terra Nova? All the weaponry that they use on Terra Nova is Nerf. All of it. All of it. Like, I recognize them with my gun.
yeah. You're like, oh, that's totally.
It's hilarious.
I would love to be a prop designer. That's one thing in
That's-
Hollywood that I would love
Love
to
to
do.
do. You have $1 billion budget, Spielberg, and you bought Nerf? Like, where did the money go? Come on.
They used a Remington or a lady's shaver handle for the new Star Wars.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, no.
Yeah.
My hero.
Well, thank you, ladies.
You too.
Do you want to go find food?
Yeah.
This was the hardest thing.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
hat was the hardest by far.
Hats are difficult.
Well, actually, you know what? The smaller hat, easier than the larger hat. Yeah. And normally it's the other way around. Normally when you're trying to make something miniaturized, it's
Yeah, the smaller hat was our first experiment.
candy.
Really?
Yeah.
They came up with a whole steampunk collection for their fall.
Actually, these,
And
I keep making them do this, these are for candy as well. They have a whole, yeah.
They have a whole
They have,
steampunk-
it's about 6 different pieces
Series.
plus the belt.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's all part of their steampunk
I'm going back to
collection.
steampunk because I'm making a bunch of steampunk stuff. Like a man bag and some other stuff.
Yeah, Tandy's
And I
got
was
it all
just
right
at Tandy's like,
It's their fall
It was on sale last month, so it's probably not gonna be on sale until January, but it's not
No, but it
super
only came out,
overpriced.
it was on
And
sale
did you
because
make
it
your
came out.
brochures?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We had to, this is all Tandy.
oh,
Oh, this is,
it's a hat.
it's a hat light, yeah.
Yeah.
And I like the, I do like the
It's for hunting
the
scorpions,
vials.
apparently. The black light? For hunting scorpions? Yeah. Scorpions like to blow the black light.
And I do like the vials on the back. I think I'm
They're
gonna.
gonna glow tonight,
Oh, nice.
because that's what
Well,
the,
it's just tonic water, right? So
Tonic water,
Tonic
yeah.
has enough
Yeah.
of or whatever it is. So under the black light, it actually looks kind of cool.
Very cool.
I keep,
We're
it's got a
having a
pressure switch, I keep knocking it and turning the light on, the light's off, the light's on.
Yeah, we're having a steampunk thing probably end of January.
oh,
We're getting all psyched up to get some more
Very cool.
stuff put in.
There's not many events in Calgary.
No. No.
You guys are Calgary?
Yeah.
Okay.
We drove out to the Calgary kind of stuff.
They didn't even do it this year.
Yeah?
No.
I thought they.
There was Calgary Comic Con,
Okay,
but like,
that's the one I'm
the Comic Con
remembering.
was all Star Wars all the time, nothing else. Like, Star Trek all the time.
Okay, never mind. Star Wars would have been like.
No, it was like, last year we had Nimoy one year, so now we're gonna do Shatner and like.
I like Star Trek, but I think that would be a bit much if it was everything.
And the regular con version was all Star Trek as well.
Yeah,
That's weird.
it was,
It's like they're only going for like the stereotypical.
yeah,
Just to, yeah.
and like trying to have a nice conversation with somebody, and it always ended up being like, well, you know what's awesome? Star Trek. Or reading.
It's okay, but it's really cheesy.
So, I mean, come on, we have to expand past something that
Yeah.
that has lived.
It's all about New Horizons. Where's yours? That one's looking a little old.
I like that one. May I steal it?
I guess.
Thank you. I'm debating on downing this one so I can have the second one. You want sandwiches? Oh yeah, we do want sandwiches. Sandwich time. There's food downstairs, but we brought.
We packed a lunch.
I'll have to go downstairs if I can get.
Yeah, I think there's a little food court, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a food court.
We're not tired of it yet.
No food.
Oh, so you left to go get us?
Walked across the street.
Oh, that's
Especially if it's cold.
I walked across the street.
I had lots of times in the morning standing right there.
The window, no. It's really cold.
Figured you would.
Absolutely. Might as well. We're here. We got one. Of course, we've got stacks of them now.
Yeah, well, I just saw that you had them, so I figured,
Yes,
oh.
absolutely. Absolutely. That's the problem, right? You start the collection and it's like, then it's just naturally growing. It just attracts.
Are you going to be here for 1 o'clock?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I do have to close the room in the meantime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Go have lunch. There's perfect places for lunch across the street.
Yeah, I know. I can make breakfast.
I wish I could, I just don't have the money right now. Oh, no, that's fine. It's just I was told I have to close the room and get used to it. Because it's going to be a different log that's going to be in here.
They were meant for you.
Right. Cool. Okay, excellent.
Just so you know.
Yep, that is very nice.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you very much. It was fun.
And thank you for coming in.
Oh, hey, it was fun. We tried not to leave too much of a mess. We only had a few. Sometimes
We got
leave
them in the
some
vacuum anyway, so.
Sometimes we leave sparkles, but we just left a couple of bits of fluff, so it was good. Hey, I love you.